solving the Jag world's problems one step at a time. So as you probably know, I'm the proud owner of a 2000 XJR. It's the X308 body style, and if you don't know that, you're probably not subscribed to our channel, which is something you should fix right now. If you do subscribe, consider hitting that notification button, which is the little bell icon, and that'll let you know every time we release a new video. Now, while this video is specific to the X308 Jags, the solution that I found is actually pretty universal, so if you've already clicked on the video, I'd suggest staying tuned because this could quite likely solve your problem as well. But Josh, what problem could you possibly have with the XJR? It's literally perfect in every way, I hear you ask. Well, I would tend to agree, but it is missing one key thing. Sure, it's got auto headlights, auto wipers, cruise control, automatic memory seats, front and rear fog lamps, kick-ass factory Alpine sound system with a subwoofer, a freaking timepiece, cup holders, more overhead controls than a 747, auto-dimming rearview mirror, and a freaking supercharger. But alas, even with all these creature comforts, there is one thing missing. There's no Bluetooth! So in all seriousness, you guys do know me, and I do try and do things the right way whenever possible, but the right way can mean a lot of different things depending on your budget, the amount of time you have, and also your willingness to tear into the car and actually do a deeper install versus something a little more topical. So I found a few solutions in my research, and I'm happy to share those with you here as well, and I'll also tell you which one I went with, which was right for what I was looking for. So follow along, and hopefully this will be educational for you. Starting with what I would consider to be the most correct option, this is going to give you the most factory look. It'll appear as though it was always installed in the car. It'll give you all the nice functionality that you would want, but it is one of the most expensive ways of approaching this. I very seriously considered taking this route, but then I ended up opting to go a different way because I was uncertain of how long I was keeping the car and things like that. So the company Jagdroid offers a factory head unit. And essentially, it's actually a service to your existing head unit, where they basically take your head unit in, they dive in there, and they basically add the Bluetooth functionality to the head unit, and you can reinstall it as per factory. I believe they also do the addition of an auxiliary port as well. I would have to double check on that, but we're focusing on Bluetooth today. So the service costs £175. At this time, that's about $240. You do have to mail them your head unit for that. So it is a bit of an expense to get it done, but when all is said and done, no one would even know that it wasn't that way from the factory. So it's an excellent, excellent approach. Again, I had just bought the car, wasn't certain what my future with the car was going to be like, so I didn't necessarily want to dive in and take that expense at the time. But now that I've had the car as long as I have, I do plan to probably do that in the future, as I think it is an excellent option. They do also mention on their site that they occasionally do have pre-converted units available, so you may be able to reach out to them, purchase one, have it shipped to you, and possibly send yours back as a core. So it might be worth reaching out to them first before diving in and just ripping yours out and mailing it in. Now, they have a great video rundown on this on their website, which is jagdroid.org, but I'll give you a quick overview. So basically, it piggybacks off of your tape functionality on the deck. So essentially, you would still have tape functionality if you'd wanted to use it. I don't know anyone that does, but hey. But by pressing the A mem button, that basically flips between the tape and the Bluetooth functionality. And the cool thing is the seek buttons work as normal. They would actually skip tracks on your phone. And it also retains the functionality of your steering wheel controls. So you can actually skip from the steering wheel, which is a really nice feature. And again, it just keeps that factory functionality of the vehicle. I mean, it just is like it was always there. So I think it's just a really elegant solution. I've included a link to the Jagdroid website specifically to that product in the description below as well, so you can just scroll down there and click on that if you're interested in taking a look at it. So if you don't have that kind of budget, we have a simpler solution as well, and this is one that's been around for a very long time. They have the cassette deck adapters, where you basically put in what looks like a cassette tape, and a little wire comes out, and then it basically has a Bluetooth dongle attached to that. Very simple. It's very removable. You can just stick the tape thing in whenever you want to use it, but if you ever feel like tidying the car up, you can just remove it really easily as well. And the audio quality is supposed to be pretty good on these. I've used them before. I've never used a Bluetooth one, but I've used the auxiliary cord ones, and they've been okay. But my biggest qualm with them is always that they are a little bit on the obtrusive side. You can really just see the cable poking right out of the stereo. It's just not the best look. If you can imagine, it would be in here, and basically you'd have a wire just kind of coming out of here, and normally you'd have a little box that would be your Bluetooth adapter as well. They may make fancier ones where it's all built in now, but I haven't personally seen one, and I don't honestly have a link to one of these products because I don't have personal experience with one. I just know that it's an option, so it may be right for you if that's the approach you want to take. Alright, but what did I do in my Jag? It's a very legitimate question, and I'm finally going to answer it. So you guys have probably all seen the Bluetooth to FM adapters. It's an older technology. It's not some brand new wizardry or anything like that. I mean, this is something that I've used multiple times in the past. But what excites me is I finally found one that does it extremely well and extremely cheaply. I was very impressed now that I've finally circled back to this technology at how far it's come. So this is what I opted for. As you can see, the Jag has this little flip-up cover here, which normally would house your cigarette lighter and your ashtray. But since I don't use either of those, I've replaced that with my Bluetooth adapter. And this thing is freaking great. I mean, I'm blown away by how far this stuff has come. So this little guy right here plugs into the cigarette lighter, receives its power from there, and basically just works over an unused radio station on your head unit, right? So essentially, you can pick which station you want it to be, tune your head unit to that station, and it's broadcasting inside the car to that station. It then pairs to your phone via Bluetooth, and it just works so seamlessly. It's really, really easy. This thing took me literally 2 minutes to install and get it functioning, and it has just blown me away. I've had this thing in the car for ages, and it's been fantastic. As you can see, it provides you with a couple of USBs here. It also gives you a little voltage readout, which I don't really care that much about it, but it's kind of nifty. I happen to also run one of the Amazon Echo Autos in my car, which is super convenient if you happen to use the Alexa products and everything like that. So literally, this gives me a handy USB that I have this thing plugged into right here. And essentially, it's all tidy and just packaged in one space. It really is unobtrusive, and I can always basically just unplug it if I ever want to just close this lid and have it go back to factory stock. It doesn't hack up the wiring, and it's just tucked away really nicely. Now, if you're a serious audiophile, you may experience some diminished audio quality, but it's very minor. I'm not that picky personally, so I don't even notice it. But, just something to consider. If you want, like, the cleanest of the best, then yes, obviously you want to splash out and get something a little nicer. The Jag Droid's probably for you. You know what my favorite thing about this Bluetooth adapter is? When it pairs to my phone, it speaks in a British accent, and it is the most appropriate thing for a Jag ever. And I don't think I can catch it on camera, but sometimes it'll also go, waiting for pairing, which is awesome. You can also take phone calls on this device, and it has the mic built right into it, so you don't need to wire any extra stuff like that, and the answer button is literally right there, which is super convenient, because when you're driving, you can literally just click the button. There's this little notch right here that's the perfect size for your finger, and you also have your skip forward and back buttons if you're doing music as well. So this thing is just really nice. Oh, and the phone button also works as your play and pause button. So it is truly to where you don't have to fiddle with your phone. You can just set your playlist going, and you can interact with your music through those buttons right there. If a call comes in, you can answer the call from there as well. It's really, really nice. So specifically, this thing is the Mdn Bluetooth Adapter, and I will include a link in the description of the video as well. You can click that, and it'll take you straight to it on Amazon. As of right now, it's about $18, which I think is a steal for the amount of time it saves you. You just plug it in and go, and it's just been fantastic. I will say they do offer a newer version of this, but it's a different shape, and it looks like it's a little bulkier. So even though it has like a dial on it and maybe some extra features, if you're looking specifically for this application, the link in my description below is going to take you to the exact right product so that it'll fit really nicely in that space like mine does. And this also works extremely well in a lot of other vehicles. We actually have this exact adapter in our F-150, our F-250, in the Viper, and I think we have it in one other vehicle as well, and we just keep using it over and over again because it's so easy and it works so freaking well. So it's not often that I hype up a product like this, but I've used it for so long, and I just want to share it with you guys. It's really, really, really good. So I hope this video has been helpful for you. I hope it's kind of answered some questions about the easiest and possibly best ways to get Bluetooth into not only your Jag, but possibly another vehicle as well. You know, if this has been helpful for you, please leave us a comment. And if you do like our videos and you haven't yet subscribed, please do subscribe. You know, we always are putting out some cool content, and we'd love to see you on the next videos as well. And of course, if you are subscribed but you haven't hit the notification button, do consider turning that on so you get notified when we release a new video. It's just a nice little touch where you can see when something else cool about Jags comes out, and you know, I think it'll keep you plugged into our channel as we continue to grow and release some more cool content. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to go for a cruise and listen to some cool music on my Bluetooth.